Hey, y'all. Hey, what's up? Listen, I'm going to give you three ways that you can peacefully and easily build your savings. So, this is going to be a quick one today because they're going to go through these really quickly. But if you have been catching any of these falling in love with your money, over the month of February, and you're like, listen, I need more, put a one in the comments because I love doing this. This is really exciting and fun for me. I prefer to talk to you guys and share, right? Until it's to the point where you just need to work with me because it doesn't matter how much I share. If you're not going to do the work, then, you just need to work with me. But let's talk about peacefully building your savings. But before I go into that, let me know where you are watching this from. And I am Nishaea Richardson. I'm the Play Money Coach. I work with high achieving professionals who want to learn how to manage your money like a boss so you have more play money to do the things that you enjoy. And one of those ways that you have more play money is by saving more money. Now, I know that we cannot save our way to wealth. So, yes, we do need to be investing, right? That is something that we need to be doing. But we also need to be saving so that if there is something, a reason that we need money and we need it immediately, we have that savings account building. Now, I know there are some people who are like, hey, girl, hey. I know there are some people who are like, I don't like saving, or every time I save money, I always have to dip into it, or I have to give it away to someone else, or I just don't understand the purpose of it. And if you are that person, put a two in the comments. There's no judgment, right? But we're going to talk about why it's important that you have savings. So, and there's different reasons why it's important for everyone. So everyone has their reasons why they should save. But if you are thinking about one long term, that's more so you investing in like a retirement plan or some other assets that's going to have your money growing. And by having it sitting in that account for a long period of time, you're going to get more return on your money than you think about the long term. But if you're thinking about a shorter term goal, something that's going to happen in the next 5 years, right? We want to have that money in a savings account that we can access right away, right? Because we don't want to get any penalties for having to take that money out. And that's what happens if you're taking money out of your retirement. And we don't want those penalties. Also, we want to know that we are prepared. So it's no fun having all of this money, but yet if something comes up that is truly unexpected, we then have to go into debt to pay for that thing. Where's the fun in that? There's no fun in that. There's no fun in that at all. I'm telling you, there's no fun in that. Because if you think about it, you end up paying interest on something that you could have been financially prepared for and not paid interest on. So I know someone, man, I'm helping them. They're not my paying client, but I talk to them a lot and I share a lot of stuff with them because there's someone that I care about, and it just doesn't make sense for them to be my client anyway. But there, I know someone that truly credit cards are their thing, and they make great money, like really good money, six-figure money, right? And we always have this conversation about credit cards, and we really had to talk about, like, why are you using your credit cards when you make six figures? And it was like, well, what is the purpose of credit cards if you're not supposed to use them? And I had to explain that you have more than enough money to where you can live off of just your money instead of paying interest on something that you wouldn't have paid interest on anyway. So if you're using your credit card to go grocery shopping, you would have never paid growth interest on your groceries had you pay for it with cash, right? Or if you bought a pair of, a shirt or an outfit or a pair of shoes or a pair of sneakers, right? You're not going to go into the sneaker store or wherever you buy your footwear from and then pay them interest on top of what it costs. No, more than likely you're looking for a sale. And even if you're not looking for a sale, right? More than likely you just want to pay what it costs. You don't want to pay any extra. And that's what's happening when we put things on our credit card with no intention to get them paid off immediately. Um, and that is what savings can truly position us to do, right? Because I can talk just from my own experience. Hey, girl, my own experience just recently. I had some major things that I had to do financially, but there were things that I was prepared for. So one, I had to get a new battery for my car. Now, my car is 6 years old, but I barely drive it. So when my battery went out, I was like, what is happening? I only have 35,000 miles on my car. And it's like, girl, but it's 6 years old. Like, it's over. Like, you need a new battery. So, whatever. So, that cost me $250, right? Okay. I had savings for car maintenance prepared for that. And I was saving just as a thing because we all need oil changes, right? We all need those 30,000 mile checks done or wherever, how many mileages you have on your vehicle. We all need a car registration renewed every year. We always need something that needs to be done. So naturally, I just save a little bit of money every single month going into my car maintenance fund so that when things unexpectedly happen, I already have the money. So one thing was I had to get a new battery. That was $250. The last time I got my oil change, they told me, hey, you're going to need brakes soon. Not right now, but probably in the next 6 to 8 months, right? So that right there was my trigger to say, hey, I need to start planning for new brakes. What did I do? I asked them, how much is it going to cost me to get new brakes? Tell me everything that I need so that I'm prepared. They quoted me $1,200. Okay, cool. That's a mental note. Now, do I want to pay $1,200? No. Am I going to shop around for a lower rate? Yes. But I am going to save. I'm going to financially prepare for that $1,200 that I know is coming up in the next 6 to 8 months. And that's the mentality that we need to have, right? So, therefore, just this Sunday, I went to a place. I didn't go to the dealership. I went to another place that I knew that I really liked going to. I've gone to them for other things. And I ended up paying $1,000 versus $1,200. But none of that stressed me out. None of that put me in debt. I didn't pay any interest on any of that stuff because why? I was already saving up for those $1,200 breaks that I knew I was going to need in 6 to 8 months. So instead of me swiping my credit card and then paying interest because now it's going to take me 6 months or a year from now to pay off that $1,200 because I wasn't financially prepared. Now that money is gone, right? It paid for the brakes. I got brand new brakes that's going to last me probably another 6 years, and I don't have to worry about it. Now, what I can do is I can start all over again because I know that I'm going to need an oil change, da 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 da. So on and so forth, right? So that's how I want you to think about savings, right? It allows you to one be in a space of less stress. It really reduces your stress and puts you in a zen space with your finances, which is what the goal of this month is, to really help you fall in love with money as opposed to running from it or thinking that it's a negative thing or thinking like, oh my gosh, it's such a hassle and it's so stressful. It doesn't have to be, right? So let's talk about um, building your savings peacefully. So, what I do, and this is what I also share with my clients when you work with me, right? But I also allow you to pick what works best for you because I have my methods that work for me and that may not work for you. And that is totally okay, which is why I love what I do because there is no right or wrong, right? There is what fits perfectly for you. I can give you the tools, I can give you the strategies, I can give you your options, and then you choose which one works for you. So for me, saving is easy and I can do it peacefully by out of my full time job paycheck. I automatically have an allotment go into my savings account. So every time I get paid, just like my direct deposit goes into my checking account, a portion of that goes right into my savings account. So I never see it, I never touch it, I don't have to look at it. I don't have to feel it. I don't have to do nothing. All I know is that the money that comes into my checking account is the money that I am going to use to have fun, pay my bills, and whatever else I want to do with it that I have planned out in my spending plan, right? My savings is building peacefully without me even touching it or thinking about it because I set it up and I forgot about it. And I learned how to live without that money that's going in my savings because that's the thing, right? Someone says yes. Someone earlier says us. I always have to dip into it. So the question is why do you have to dip into it? Because your savings truly should be for whatever you commit it to being for. So someone may have savings where they're only going to use that money in the event that they lose their income and they need that money until they can replace their income. Maybe that's you, right? Or someone else may have their savings for, if they want to go on a vacation, or if there's something in the house that breaks, then they have that money for that. So I need you to also be clear about what are you going to use that savings for and what are you not going to touch the savings for. So instead of being so carefree with it, right, and just saying like, oh, it's there, I'm going to tap into it, set some boundaries with yourself so that you're clear that no, I'm only going to use this money if it's related to this thing. So now you can forget that it's even there because that's not what it's for. It's for whatever you said it's for, right? And also, this is not to make you feel guilty if you do have to tap into it. Just know that what you're doing with it is your money, and that if you decide that you want to go into it, tap into it. But we also need to change that mentality of what is it for and commit to that, right? So the second thing that you can do to peacefully build your savings is have your savings account automatically pull money from your checking account. So maybe if you get paid on a Friday, you have your savings account pull the money on Sunday or Monday, right? So now it's just building, it's just pulling without you doing anything. You don't have to touch it, you don't have to see it, you don't have to do anything, just let it happen peacefully by itself. And then the third thing you could do is set it up to where your checking account transfers into your savings account. And you can manually do that. You can go in and manually do it. But I truly recommend that you automate these things so that you can be as hands free as possible, because that's truly what's going to make managing your money so much easier. Is by one, automating as much as you can. And if you are someone like me who likes to pay bills, like I like to log in online and pay things on whatever my day is, it's something about it. It's, I don't know. I don't know how to explain it. It's something about it that I enjoy versus having stuff set up on auto pay. And I like to pay my bills when my money comes in and then I'm done with it. I never have to worry about anything else because everything's paid, it's over, and it's done with it. So do what works for you, right? We talked about that. But truly, if you can automate things, know that you have the money there to cover those things. It takes away that stress that sometimes comes with managing your money. And then also, with your savings, it allows you to peacefully build your savings up so that you are prepared for in the event that something comes up that you truly need cash for, and you don't want to be in that cycle of constantly swiping your card or taking out personal loans or not being financially prepared. So think about, so what I need you to do, your, I won't even say your homework, but I guess it is homework, is I need you to look at like the next 3 months that are coming up and look at any events that are going to happen in the next 3 months that's going to require you to need a little extra money than what you typically would spend during a month, right? So, if you have a regular month where you pay your regular bills, you do the same thing, nothing changes, you already know that that stuff is included in your spending plan. But if you have those months where maybe, the kids are going to be going on spring break in March or February, depending on where you live, maybe you want to travel or do something with the kids. They're going to be home, right? That's more meals you got to make. So maybe that's more money on groceries than what you would normally need money for groceries for. Maybe you have some events if you're a business owner, or even if you're not a business owner, but maybe you have some events coming up. You have some birthdays, some maybe, is there any holidays? Valentine's Day is next month or next week. I don't know. Whatever. Yes, this month. Yeah. But again, think about what's coming up over the next 3 months and see if there's anything that you're going to need extra money for. If so, one, you can start putting some money away for that. So maybe if you have something coming up in May, you can start putting some money away over these next couple of months so that you are prepared for it. Or you can also say, like, okay, I need to make sure that I'm allocating money in my spending plan for those things so that I don't have to swipe my credit card, or I don't have to ask someone for money or pull money from my savings that I didn't want to touch because I was saving for a specific thing. And so that you're financially prepared. So that is your homework. And so that you can start preparing for that. And tomorrow we're going to talk about being a negotiating ninja, right? That was Chat GPT's work, but I'm going to talk about some different ways that you can really start using your negotiation skills so that you're getting paid more of what you are worth versus just saying yes to whatever is given to you. Because I know sometimes it is very exciting if you have an opportunity that comes to you and you're like, yes, this is the thing that I've been waiting for, but the math may not make sense. And you may be saying, like, well, I didn't want to do this for free, or I wanted to get paid $5,000 and they only want to pay me $1,000. Do I really want to take this? Well, I'm going to give you some things that you can do to really, tap into your negotiation skills so that you can get paid a little more, maybe than what you would have typically said yes to, right? And I want you to feel empowered about being able to say, like, that's not right, but I'm going to ask for this. So if you're coming back tomorrow, put a fire emoji in the comments and peacefully build your savings by doing those three things, whether you have it automatically sent from your job, if you still work a job, or you have it automatically pulled from your savings account, from your checking account, or vice versa. You transfer it from your checking to your savings, but the goal is to automate it and do it without you having to touch it so that it just grows without you seeing it and looking at it every single time and then getting that temptation to tap into it. So y'all have an awesome evening. Stay safe. And I will see y'all tomorrow while we talk about negotiations. Later.